many years with the Auschwitz retreats that Roshi Glassman created and developed. And part of what I honor and love about you, Avraham, is the way that you connect deep presence and spirit and meditation with the most difficult aspects of being human. Auschwitz, Rwanda, being forced to live on a reservation. And I'm very grateful that we have you here today, and to guide us in this next 45-minute period to contemplate and be with being in the face of a pandemic. So welcome, I turn it over to you. You told me that you have a bit of a cold or cough, so you'll be speaking for about 15 minutes only. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth and Thomas, for hosting me again and creating this container. If I speak in this volume, can people hear me? Is this okay? Thank you. So I don't want to lose any moment. Many of you have been sitting for the past 6-7 hours, plunging deep into presence, into prayer. We were just led by Metza beautifully with the Lakota prayers. I was very moved to hear them. And I was invoking in my mind the Lakota relatives that I have. And Elizabeth graciously invited me to guide this period. And I'm also not knowing what this period will be like, just like you. This period is these times of challenge that we're facing right now. It may be this hour, it may be this minute. And the great imperative is to learn to be uncomfortable in the midst of this uncertainty and unknowing. We don't know how this next breath is going to unfold. We don't know how this pandemic is going to unfold. And luckily, we have so many resources to draw on. And we can start with just the most simple one, which is just this breath. And I invite you, whenever I speak, if anything becomes anything more than just simple, if you see it activates something else in your mind, just come back to that. This breath, this beating heart in your body that hasn't stopped since you were born. It's with you. It's with me. It's life force that goes in and out through our nostrils, fills our lungs, oxygenates our bloodstream, is what we share with one another, even when we're distant physically. If anything, this physical distance and this attention that we're now bringing to the distance between us is just highlighting the space between us. And this space is precious and it's sacred. It is told that in the Jewish Torah and the Jewish teachings that this white space around the letters of the written Torah is the most sacred part of the Torah.
Mm-hmm.
And even this new entity that we're facing now, this virus, is unseen. And it brings some of us deep, deep suffering. And it also brings a lot of connection. And it's always available to us to return to this breath. And this breath is not just to be in our bodies or to be embodied or releasing some of the stress that we may have, because that is really real. And there are responsibilities that we need to take, and we've all put them aside for a few hours to sit together. But what if this silence that you have been cultivating diligently the last few hours, this attention that you've been cultivating, is a form of prayer itself? What if this unseen, silent reality all around us, all this space, all this white space around us, is yearning to be seen by us? It's calling us, however you call it, the divinity, your God, your infinite. It's yearning to be seen by us. It cannot be seen by anyone else. And as we sit and we see our thoughts and we see our attention moving through our senses, coming closer and simpler to this basic awareness, we're actually in a form of silent worship. Not waiting for anything. Not holding on to anything. The Jewish prayer of Shabbat, the seventh day that people celebrate every 7 days, is just this. It's just this cessation, just this abiding. And we're globally and across nations, in different places around the planet, are called now to just cease and just give attention. And this is not a deadening attention, this is a highly connecting attention. If you'd like, if your eyes are closed, to just crack them open a little bit and notice the few windows peeking at you through the screen. And just notice the daytime, daylight. I'm calling from a place where it is midday, there's light. Some of you I look and I see darkness, maybe evening or night. How incredible. So as this amazing planet is revolving around the sun and showing us these different lights, in different phases, in different faces of itself. They're all true simultaneously. This too is true. Our experience is valid. Our feelings are valid. Our yearnings are valid. Our anxieties are valid. And we're also being called by this great infinity to love it. This silence that we're cultivating is important because it amplifies, and it's a vehicle. And just as we saw earlier, Metta put the sound in our ears and deliver that into the world. We don't know who heard it, with whom it reverberated. But if we're really interconnected, then it cannot not reverberate. So as I'm sitting with you in this great unknowing, in this great uncertainty, through the breath, through tools of connection to my ancestry, like this praying shawl, or whatever tools that you have that supports you in making this contact. Particularly our ancestry, because this virus is particularly interested in our elders, and these elders are the ones that carry our wisdom. So I want to fill the space that we've created with a short prayer of healing to our elders, to the elder within each one of us, because each one of us has this wise, connected, loving, welcoming presence. And I also want to dedicate it to the multitudes who are right now on the street, in emergency rooms, delivering foods, giving me this privilege of doing this holy work with all of you. So the chant that I'll chant is a healing chant, and I'm going to post the chant in the chat. It's very simple, and if you want to chant it with me while your mic is silented, please do so. This is a simple Jewish prayer in Hebrew that simply asks and yearns for healing. Please heal. That simply. He doesn't say to whom, doesn't say when. It's everything right now. Ana ina efal, ana ina. Ana ina efal, ana ina. Ana ina efal. May these blessings, may this prayer, may this presence pass and move through our bodies, through our breath, through technology and electrons, through around this planet, to each one of us, each one of you, those who are sick right now, those who are battling death, and those who are healing them. May you feel nurtured and blessed to continue this important work of presence and worship of this moment. This simple way to connect to ourselves and to infinity. So with this, let us continue sitting, connecting. Thank you so much. Thank you, Thomas, and thank you, Elizabeth. And if the melody still reverberates in your mind, that is okay, and that is good. Moment by moment into the uncertainty.